Hey there, Jester here, and I'm today here with the Mothman, and we are going to be not painting quite yet. We're just going to be figuring out the layout of a painting. Because what I'm going to need to end up covering is this. I have been not exactly commissioned, asked to make a painting for the doctor's nephew, and I have been told that he would like dinosaurs, and that the most important one will be a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I need to figure out how I'm going to set up a painting that large, because I don't usually make paintings that large. So today I'm just going to be trying to figure out how I'm going to set up the painting before I actually start painting. So I've got myself a little sketch pad, and I'm going to try to figure this out. Now, one trick for layouts is you want to divide things into 3. I mean, usually better than that, but I'm just freehanding it right now because the natural focal point isn't right in the middle. It's at these intersections. It's a rule of 3. So probably I'm going to have my Tyrannosaurus's head on one of these intersections to make it the focal point. If I want to get really like golden spiral about it, you'd want the head here and the body coming off like that. I'm not sure how to make that quite work without looking very silly. Now, one thing I want to not do is the traditional pose, which would just be like how like every Tyrannosaurus is posed like that. So I don't want to do that. That's why I want him to be kind of, what I'm thinking is kind of coming through a forest. So I'd like the head to be here, looking out at the viewer. Obviously the anatomy will be better when I actually do it. So I think I'm going to be having him coming through forest or something. I do kind of like the trying to bring it around, but probably not in a perfect spiral. Now this is for a 5-year-old, so on one hand I don't want him to be too scary, but on the other, kids like a little bit of scariness, just enough to make it cool. Maybe pull this foot a little more forward so he's kind of walking towards the viewer. He's going to have his mouth closed, and then the tail would be like off behind him somewhere. Give him balance. Now I was picturing putting him in a forest. I don't know if a Tyrannosaurus would like stomping through a forest, because if they trip, how do they get back up? Like, they're very much bird-like, and I've seen pigeons trip, but a pigeon is only falling about that far, and they don't weigh much. A Tyrannosaurus, that's a lot of weight coming down. But I guess they got their tails to balance them out. So I'd be putting some, I'll have to look up what trees they'll have. I'm going to want some stuff in the foreground. And I'm going to want to sneak some other prehistoric creatures in here that he'd be hunting. Put something little down here. Maybe somebody in a tree. Just to get the basic. I think that's about the layout I think I'd like. Maybe make them a little smaller so that there's more background. You can see more of the context of where he is. Okay, I'm going to reset up my cameras and we'll be back in a moment. Try to get this on the canvas. Hey, little guy. Have you melted? Is it too hot for a little kitty? Are you my melty little puddin'? You're not even gonna look. Because you're right as a cat. Yeah. Let everyone see your pretty little face. Well, one of the things I don't own is an easel. So it'd be nice if this was up a little higher and you could see more of what I was doing, but for now, it's just going to be on the chair. So I'm going to, again, approximate out my rule of threes. So there, about there. That look about right? No, it should be a little further. This definitely should be in more. Okay, so there and there will be good enough for what I'm doing. And okay, so I've got my vague grid. Goodness knows if you can see it since I'm doing it quite lightly. Now I've got my little sketch. I need to work on that. So I wanted the head to be over here. Now, Tyrannosaurs have quite large heads for their bodies. Like, even including the tail, it's like 6 heads long. So now we want the neck. They got more neck than you'd think. And it kind of come down into the upper body. And then it's a little bigger than I want them to be, so I'm going to make them a little smaller. Still like that. And then the belly comes down here. And I want that front leg coming there. And then the front paw there. And then the other leg more there. So then the tail. And coming off there so we can see it. Okay. And the eyes would be, I want them kind of along this line. Nose is about there. I am going to have to look up proper reference later. This is just kind of roughing it out. going to have his mouth closed so he's not too hungry looking. Let's see. I do have a little reference picture open over there, but it's just a side view, just so I can kind of get proportions and stuff right. Okay, so it is. Yeah, so it shouldn't actually be that big. He's got his little nubbin arms. Then kind of a big long body there. And this should actually come up higher. Yeah, great big thighs. Surprisingly little feet on this picture that I'm using. I would have thought he would have had nice big feet. And teeny weeny little calves. And then his little birdie feet. And yep. I think I'm actually just going to end the episode here because I can't crouch any longer than that. I am too old for this. But I will be working on this off and on for the next while. So, till then, Mothman and I will see you another time. Stay crafty.
Hey, Jester again. I'm sneaking in this little bit of progress. So after a week, I've done about hour and 15, hour and a half worth of work on this. As you can see, I have made the anatomy a little better, and I've added a couple of other little theropod friends. Yes, the bit that's painted right now is basically the background of the background. I intend on putting this in a forest. You know, whenever I get to it. Bye.